It is the Savage Nation. I'm Michael. Welcome to the program. Listen, I'm in Area 56 today. You know I hate to travel. I did too much of it in my life, but I traveled today because of reasons that are my own. And I got to see what the average person has to go through. The question today is, one right off the front page of what the average person sees at an airport. In a newspaper everybody looks at but never buys, USA Today. I call it USA Away because of the way they slant the news. You may as well throw the USA away. But the headline in USA Away struck me at the airport. It's called Rise Seen in Births to Illegal Dwellers. I love it. They came up with a new word. From illegal alien, they're illegal dwellers. Kind of nativist. Kind of has a rosy feel to it. Illegal dwellers. I don't know how the vermin in the media do it. I got to hand it to them. For pot-addled degenerates, I have no idea how they have the time, given that they spend all night in a nightclub, how they can come up with so many new words. But the main story is interesting. Rise seen in births to illegal dwellers. Well, if you look at the story, even the vermin in the left-wing media are admitting that the number of children being born to illegal alien invaders has reached a fever pitch. That's right. The percentage of native-born people, that means real citizens, in the U.S. has fallen for 4 straight decades. That's because white people don't want to get married. They just want to have fun. That's number one. In 2008, 12.5% of the population was born outside of the United States, nearing the all-time highs of nearly 15% in the late 1800s. Late 1800s. So the question becomes birthright citizenship, anchor babies. Because as you well know, most immigrants don't come here to work. Most immigrants come here to have a baby, drop them on the shore, and have an anchor to bring in the rest of the family. We know that. What is this all about? Well, the total number of children in the USA born to illegal immigrants on U.S. soil jumped to 4 million in 2009. That's soon after Obama became president. The minute Obama became president, they figured that the floodgates were open, and it was okay to come here and have 2, 3, 4, as many as you want. They're all citizens. Up from 2.7 million in 2003. Now, how is it the illegals are so brazen that they come here in the 9th month of pregnancy and dump a baby on our shore? Because we're so stupid we let them do it, that's why. Now, you may say these words are harsh, that we really should be more accommodating and more tolerant. Because after all children are the same, and all children are entitled to a good life. Wouldn't it be nice if the world was that way? Wouldn't it be nice? What do you think about that? Do you think automatic citizenship for children born in the U.S. Is something that we should hold on to? Because many come here simply to have a baby who is entitled to a wide variety of government benefits. Did you know the anchor baby gets benefits? Oh, you didn't know it? You know that the anchor baby from Mexico gets more benefits than your grandfather who served in World War II? Did you know that the parents become citizens as well very easily if the anchor baby becomes a citizen? Do you know this is the corruption of the rule of law? Do you happen to know why the 14th Amendment was written? Does anyone listening to this show know why there was a 14th Amendment that grants citizenship to anyone born in the United States? It was not for illegal aliens from Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Honduras, Brazil. It was to make sure that the children of slaves became citizens. It was fairness in its time. Right now, it is a nightmare, a national nightmare. Now, directors of the immigrant pressure groups, and it's interesting to me now that the Muslims have taken over some of these immigration forums because they would like to flood America with as many burqas as possible. So Ali Noorani, executive director of the National Immigration Forum, which is a front group for as many illegals as possible, said that eliminating birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants would be a colossal mistake. Ali Noorani says it puts the United States of America on the brink of legalizing apartheid. I haven't any idea why he would say that, because this has nothing to do with apartheid. But the question is, after so many years of people like myself talking about the flood of illegal aliens into America, remember I founded this show circa 1994, and I coined the phrase borders, language, and culture, and now it's become something of a watchword for most people in radio. They understand that our borders have been destroyed by our government, that our language has been bastardized and destroyed by those who would turn us into a trilingual nation where English becomes a minority language. And culture? What culture are you talking about? The American flag? They burn them. They spit on them. And now they say they're shocked to see prominent members of Congress suddenly embracing it, such as the so-called prominent Lindsey Graham, who is not as prominent as you may think. But nevertheless, I'm asking you, the audience of the Savage Nation, do you think that birthright citizenship should be eliminated? Do you think that citizenship should be granted to anyone born in the United States? Now, before you call me, I know what kind of calls I'm going to get. I hope they're intelligent. I would like to tell you about such a situation in the nation of Canada. Canada is a far more liberal nation than the United States of America. Canada has been a socialist nation for many a year. Canada had a problem with illegal immigrants from China coming in their 9th month of pregnancy and giving birth to the children on arrival in Canada so that the child could become an automatic Canadian citizen. It had reached such a hectic proportion of the number of births in Canada that a legislator in Canada said enough is enough. We're going to eliminate anchor babies. We're ending birthright citizenship. And he was of Chinese descent. That's right. He was a Chinese man, a Canadian of Chinese descent, who saw what his, well, I should say distant relatives or cousins from China were doing, how they were perverting the liberalism and the tolerance of Canada and abusing the great government of Canada at the time. And so they eliminated birthright citizenship in Canada. That's something even the professor on Fox didn't know, but I'm sure his ears just perked up, and it's already on a Blackboard or a BlackBerry, and it'll be on Fox News tomorrow. But that's what you get from the old Fox Michael Savage, which is reality. That's the reality show of today. That's the show today. Rise seen in births to illegal dwellers. That's what the vermin at USA Today call illegal aliens. Now they're dwellers. How in the world you can call someone who snuck into a country, invaded a nation, and parasitizes it by taking free things that they're not entitled to a dweller? I don't know, unless you're insane. I wouldn't call them dwellers. I'd call them something else, and I've had enough of it. This debate on birthright citizenship has been long overdue. I've been waiting here since 1994 for this debate to finally percolate up to the average person. But now when I see it on the front page of the USAOA newspaper, I realize it's time for us to talk about it. Again, is it time for the 14th Amendment to go? Or should everyone who comes to America who drops a baby on our doorstep be entitled to have an anchor baby here? After all, they're children just like your children. They're all equal. Everyone's equal on earth. There should be no borders. Do you ever hear some of these liberals talk? You wouldn't believe what they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they're saying. There should be no borders, no language, and no culture. That's their idea of a perfect world. Well, it's not my idea of a perfect world. That's not what your ancestors fought and died for. It was not to see a man of the let us say, quality of Obama as president. A Congress as low and as lying and as corrupt as this one could never have occurred if we had a legitimate press in this country that acted in the way the press was supposed to act, which is as a watchdog for the average person, not as lapdogs for both parties. And that's where talk radio comes in. We are the watchdogs for America. Does it make us tough guys? No. It makes us guys that you need more than you may know. Because without us, what you'd have, I'll tell you exactly what you'd have. You would have that wonderful congressman from New York. What was his name? You forgot him already? The House chairman of the Ways and Means Committee? Old gravelly voice himself who was just found to be corrupt and they want him thrown out. You'd have Maxine Waters. You'd have old Charlie Rangel. That's all you'd have in Congress. In other words, you would have less than a banana republic were it not for people like Michael Savage willing to take the chances necessary to expose the corruption and greed in our government. And so I throw the question to you again. Is it time to get rid of the 14th Amendment and no more birthright citizenship? Or what? 1-800-449-8255. It's Michael Savage. Be here. Savage.